fake material, it's not silk. It's a very synthetic material. Because I can't iron. I put on the like sticky the middle part.
Okay, and then here is my audience. Yay, okay. Alright. Hi everyone. I would like to start out today with an odd request, having you imagine your worst headache. At one time or another, we have all experienced a debilitating headache that has put us out of our daily activities, that we couldn't contribute to anything pretty much in our lives. So I now want you to imagine that that headache is a direct result from a concussion. As someone who is a basic life support provider and someone who has experienced concussions, I believe it's important for you all to understand the long and short-term effects of these concussions. So a concussion is a mild traumatic brain injury that is caused by any sort of blunt trauma to the head, neck, or upper body regions. And this is published in the Physical Therapy and Sport Journal in a study about the difference in male and female effects of concussions. In an article about the concussion's effects on brain matter, the CDC states the findings of 1.3 million people that suffer mild traumatic brain injuries every year. And because of this enormous number, it is important for us to understand how dangerous and how common these injuries occur and how it affects your brain in the long and short-term settings. The Canadian Primary Care Centennial Service Network, along with many other experts in the field, all agree on the same short-term effects of concussions. These symptoms include dizziness, fatigue, headaches, anxiety, depression, loss of consciousness, memory loss, etc. And as a person who has experienced concussions, I can attest to these symptoms. In 2012, I was in a softball accident where I was hit by a line drive in the head. I passed out, I experienced these symptoms for about 2 weeks, and then I was faced with a full road to recovery. However, unlike myself, a lot of people experience the long-term effects of concussions. These can vary anywhere between delayed return to activities, emotional distress, a reduced functional ability throughout the time that they are experiencing the symptoms. And although these may seem like a minor inconvenience, the concussions are very serious. In the Journal of Neurotrauma, a study published in 2019 about pediatric concussions states that experts believe pediatric concussions are the most severe. Development can be delayed in these concussions due to a decreased ability in brain blood flow. So if the blood flow is damaged, development issues can occur because oxygen isn't getting to your brain. Additionally, the blood-brain barrier permeability can be increased, which means blood can move through your brain when pathogens or illnesses that get into your blood can go into your brain that otherwise wouldn't have been there if you hadn't had this injury. Again, because pediatric injuries and concussions are harder on the child's brain, it gives them a harder time developing than adults, and they are unable to recover as fast as adults do. So the adults recover a bit faster, they don't have development issues, but they can still experience the same symptoms such as delayed return to activities, the emotional distress, and the just stress on the body. Although that is the case, concussions can affect anyone and everyone who is hit at any sort of force that can cause any sort of rocking of the brain. And depending on the hit or how your brain takes the hit, you can experience any sort of combination of the long and short-term symptoms. To wrap up, I think it is important to touch on the main points of this presentation. The concussions are considered mild traumatic brain injuries that are caused by any trauma to the upper body region, specifically the head and the neck. The short-term effects of concussions are headaches, fatigue, irritability, blacking out, etc. Long-term effects are any sort of damage to the blood flow to the brain, any sort of delayed response as far as developmental delays, and the increase in permeability of the blood-brain barrier. Children have a harder time developing after these concussions, but adults can receive the same symptoms that children do as far as not being able to return to our activities. I hope you were able to gain some more information about concussions and the long and short-term effects of these symptoms on your brain. Thank you.